This time it feels different. We're emerging from the longest bull run in history, which started in 2011, a stretch lasting 11 years. Back then, I capitalized on the mortgage-backed securities and CDL crashes, making my fortune by investing approximately $300 million in prime real estate across the Southwest. It was a period of unparalleled opportunity. But now, as this unprecedented bull market reaches its peak, I see young investors claiming that this time is different, especially with assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Although I own some myself, I'm wary of the same narrative replaying. Every time Bitcoin crashes, I'm reminded of the Federal Reserve's limitations. Can the Fed print oil, gas, or food? No. Yet many have been conditioned by Wall Street to trust the Fed blindly. As we question these foundations, remember that age-old adage ringing louder, "This time it's different," rarely holds true without scrutiny. Consider this. When Jerome Powell seems to invoke Paul Volcker's spirit by raising interest rates, we must remember that the debt-to-GDP ratio today is a staggering 125% compared to just 30% during Volcker's time. Historically, there's never been a soft landing after such economic conditions. It's merely soothing rhetoric. I've seen more financial success in the past few years than ever before by taking an alternative approach to traditional investment advice. Here lies a potential tipping point. Can this wave sustain itself, or are we on the brink of discovering its undercurrents? We've been taught to diversify across stocks and bonds, yet few question what happens when such diversity exposes more risk than it hedges. Can you afford to ignore the warning signs flashing across every financial news ticker? Let's transport back to 1974, post-Vietnam, when I recognized the shift towards the stock market with the advent of the 401k. Since then, it's become clear how many have been shepherded unknowingly into financial tunnels without understanding money. Watching newly minted financial planners during that era, I observed what seemed to me the blind leading the blind. Imagine a generation now reliant on advice from those who may never have encountered a bear market. The anticipation that Social Security remains solvent while the stock market holds steady in their 401k seems fraught with risk, especially as the structure of this financial landscape was never an accident. Reflecting on it as a former Marine lieutenant, I see echoes of a system meant to control rather than liberate financially. Yet, how many continue to play by these rules, unaware of the shifting sands beneath their financial feet? Fast forward to now, where I've capitalized on falling interest rates by strategically refinancing my 13,000 apartment units. Having removed debt from my properties, which continue to generate cash, it's evident that sitting idle in a bull market can inflate one's perceived acumen. Investors should be cautious and not resort to flipping properties, as tax consequences can hinder true profitability. Each financial choice carries hidden implications, magnifying the true impact of each decision tenfold in uncertain markets. Leveraging debt has been my pathway to tax-free income, defying conventional wisdom which encourages living debt-free. The economic environment has nurtured investor complacency, but for those like me, cautious optimism paired with strategic foresight remain key. Debt, often villainized, can be a powerful ally when wielded correctly, presenting opportunities cloaked in apparent risk. Even as Biden's policies have driven oil from $30 to over $120 a barrel, one must question who stands to benefit or suffer. The energy sector lies at civilization's core, and as an ex-Standard Oil employee, I understand its dynamics. Seeing the potential for economic distress among the poor and middle class is troubling, indicating systemic goals that might not align with public welfare. The balance teeters, and those who can read the signs may find prosperity on the horizon while others falter. Navigating through these uncertainties, I invest directly in oil wells and gold mines, benefiting from tax advantages that paper stocks cannot provide. There's no doubt that today's market holds more potential than at any point in living memory, poised for savvy investors who can see beyond ingrained educational doctrines. What if the greatest opportunities lie not in new technology, but in old-world industries awaiting a renaissance? Anticipation peaks again as we face the everything bubble, larger than even 2008's financial crisis. The stakes are higher, encompassing not just stocks and bonds, but also widespread credit dependencies. This presents unparalleled opportunities for those who remain critically aware. The established norms are being rewritten as we speak, challenging every preconceived notion of investment safety. Ultimately, your best and worst investments are the ideas you subscribe to. As you navigate this complex financial landscape, remain skeptical of whose echoes fill your mind. In such times, wisdom lies not in fear, but in informed, strategic action. Consider this a call to arms for investors, to question, to challenge, and to triumph in a world where fortunes shift as swiftly as the tides.